Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Away. Let's get a bit of feedback. Let's get a bit of feedback. Who'd love to share? Apart from sharing the obvious that maybe there was not enough time. Coach Lunga, I hope you're not just unmuting to tell me there was not enough time again. Yes, Coach Lunga.
You're psychic now. Okay, I won't say that. Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Lunga here, and feedback. Feedback is that I just missed this. I missed this. I've missed this situation. I've missed this type of setup. I've missed connecting authentically. I think I'm taken back by what you said earlier on about how do you become omnipresent? It's creating real, honest connections and allowing yourself to be vulnerable with total strangers and people, which is something that I really aspire to have in my higher version of self. Just about my breakout room, we did have a bit of technical difficulties. So, I think with this Cabo, if whenever we can have a chance, I'd love to kind of come back and we can have a conversation, just to have a conversation so that you can feel heard. I can imagine the frustration of wanting to share, but you can't unmute yourself and converse. That must be really frustrating. So I just want to reassure her that sizokwazi ukuthi reach out to her earlier. And also I think finally maybe last 10 seconds of my feedback is just being a coach. And this has reminded me why I got into this thing. The first reason was for myself, obviously to better myself, but seeing Kumbula Majigoti, how important and vital it is to be able to have an opportunity to empower the next person. So for me, this has been a great experience, Ugubalana coach, and I wish everyone good, all the best in everything you're trying to do. And remember, people feel like we're stuck on a lower version. I felt stuck myself. One step forward is enough to break the chains. Remember, the feeling of stepping out of a lower version, it may not come to you as you are expecting it to come to you. But you best believe, just like the example coach used with the charger, of the cell phone. You don't know what kind of power happens in that cable to the phone, but it is a charge sometimes. Ungavuka ingacharge the next morning, but if you try, we try to angle. Look, when you have to hold the cable in a particular angle, some power can come in. So do not overlook the power of a baby step. You being here is a step towards the healing and moving away from the lower version. You being aware that you're stuck in the lower version is already a move towards the higher version. Coach, let me end there.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach Lunga. Thank you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for that. Vujisha. Vujisha. Coach Tiketso. I'm not kidding. Yes.
Absolutely. Hi guys, everybody in the room, Coach Taviso, of the coaches. Yeah. So yeah, the session, yeah, the room now, right? So yeah, we got to speak. There was just the two of us, but we got to both say and even express Jorge, when we are at our the higher version of ourselves, how from your day, how your day starts, whether how you're gonna be sweeping your room, how you're gonna be arranging your clothes, how are you gonna, we got to we got to, yeah, to go, yeah, in a bit. So I'm ecstatic. I'm so ecstatic, and it's making it's making me want more. I want more of this. I want more. I want more. I want more of NLP. That's what I want. So yeah, basically. Thank you. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Appreciating the feedback. Appreciating the feedback. We want more. Eh? NLP mo baneng. So what are we getting here? You know, I'm hoping as you started reflecting, what I'm getting there is there's a sense of intentional living when you show up as the higher version of yourself. So want intentional living. And it also starts when you start really focusing and becoming aware about the higher version of yourself, you also start getting into a resourceful state. How many times do you actually intentionally think about the higher version of yourself and the impact of showing up as the higher version of yourself? Future phenomenal coach Tsuki, let's hear from you. Tsuki is on our current course. So yeah, it'd be lovely to just get some feedback from you.
Hi, Coach. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a great introduction. Po, 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 po.
Isha.
So I was in the breakaway room with Busiswa, and we both realized that we actually have qualities, behavior, feelings, beliefs, and identity that we could actually associate with our higher self, and how we actually embrace and love the version of our higher self. And you know how it also impacts the people around us. Busiswa mentioned about how when she's in her higher self, her kids love that version of herself, and even with me, the people around me also benefit from me being the higher self. However, what we also realize is that we live in a world where the society is what it is. We live in a world where there will always be obstructions that prevent us from being our higher self. So we have this question for you, Coach. How do we become our higher self when we live in this society or in this world where we can be tested to the limit to become our higher selves?
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. If you don't mind me posing that question right back at you, what do you think the higher version of yourself would actually say? What would the higher version of yourself say to you? When you are living, when you find yourself living in this world, which is consistently going to be throwing certain challenges at you, holding the beliefs that you hold about yourself and your capabilities, what would the higher version of yourself actually say? What can you do in this situation where you find yourself facing these challenges? What is it that you can do as the higher version of yourself?
Coach, when you pose this question and I reflect, I realize that sometimes the lower version kind of sneaks through, and then the higher version will come through only after I've reacted. So it will be like, no, you should have handled this matter this way. But because in that situation, the lower version somehow just creeped in.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I don't know if you are done there. So the lower version of yourself will creep in if you are not aware of it. The lower version of yourself will creep in when you're not aware of yourself. I mean, of it, if that makes sense. This is something we normally do with, I don't know, those of you who kind of know, so my background is also in the mental health space. So working with people who've got mental health problems, your bipolar, your schizophrenia, addiction, etc. So I worked in the field. And one of the things that was key, so people with addiction problems, etc., etc. One of the things that was key to actually preventing a relapse, because people will go on medication, etc., etc. And sometimes stress is what causes people to relapse. Not necessarily that they stop taking their medication, etc., etc. But one of the key things to notice a relapse is to know what is it that happens just before a relapse. What is it? What is it that you're aware of? Start reflecting on all the times that the lower version of yourself showed up or crept in. What happens just before it shows up? Because when you are aware what happens just before, what are the things for you to notice just before the lower version of yourself creeps in? And when it does show up, are you able to label it as the lower version of yourself? Because a behavior is not something that just happens. There are certain thoughts that you think, there are certain feelings that you feel, and then there are certain things that you do as a result of the feelings that you are feeling. So what is it that happens up here? What happens in here that leads to you behaving as the lower version of yourself? So allowing you to really also unpack the thoughts that you think. When you are now aware of the thoughts that you are thinking, do you hold them as a truth or do you challenge them when they show up as the lower version of yourself? Remember, for a belief to be true, it needs 4 legs. It's almost like a table. For you to hold a belief to be true in your life, you need evidence. Even if it is a limiting belief, you need evidence. And we all look into the past for evidence to support any beliefs that limit us. And how do we challenge that belief? By removing one leg, and the table that's holding that belief will fall. And sometimes even removing all the legs. How do we remove a leg? By casting doubt upon that limiting belief. But also, we can remove it by looking for evidence of when our higher version of ourselves has shown up in our lives. And becoming aware of the beliefs that we held during those moments. So a higher version of yourself is always there. It's just a matter of what choice do you make? In NLP, we have something that is called reactive people and proactive people. Reactive people blame something or someone for why they think the thoughts they think, why they feel the feelings that they feel, or why they behave the way that they behave. Reactive people, in that context, are normally showing up as the lower version of themselves. Proactive people take responsibility. They take ownership for the thoughts that they think, for the feelings that they feel, and how they behave. And when they do that, they show up as the higher version of themselves. So in order for you to show up as the higher version of yourself, simply start taking responsibility, choosing the thoughts that you are thinking, choosing the feelings that you are feeling, and choosing how you behave, instead of allowing your circumstances or the people around you to choose that on your behalf. Because when that happens, until your circumstances, until the people around you change, you will continuously be at their mercy. I'm only giving you a taste. There are NLP tools. If you find that you have a conflict between the lower version of yourself and the higher version of yourself, and currently it seems like the lower version of yourself is winning. But something that we're going to do now to maybe help you in that regard, I apologize for the quality of the slide. So it says going down is the social conditioning. So moving from environment to purpose. Moving from allowing your environment to influence your behavior, allowing your circumstances to influence your behavior, to determine the qualities that you believe you have, to determine your beliefs and what you hold to be important, to determine who you show up as, to determine what you achieve in life, is a form of social conditioning. And that's what limits most of us in life. Self-actualization, however, is when we start with our purpose and allow our purpose to determine who we show up as, to determine the beliefs and the values that are important for us to hold, for us to become aware of what we are capable of and how we can show up in the world and make the difference that makes the difference wherever we show up. And I want to take you through a little process that's going to help you just get clear about what your purpose is. So I want you right now to just indulge me on this moment. And taking a moment, I want you all, sitting where you are sitting, just take a moment to relax. Allowing yourself to connect to the higher version of yourself. What is your purpose in life when you connect with the higher version of yourself? What is it that you think the higher version of yourself was brought here on earth to achieve? So I want you to just take a moment. Imagine the timeline of your life. Notice where the future is. Notice where the past is. And just imagine yourself floating off the timeline of your life. And just floating all the way into the future. Just go up, 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 and go so high that you can see the timeline of your life down, down, down there. And I want you to allow yourself to just float all the way into the future, to a point in your life where you have fulfilled your purpose as the higher version of yourself. Where you are not showing up as the higher version of yourself in sporadics, but you are living as the higher version of yourself. Notice where in the future you land. And as you arrive, just see what you see, hear what you hear, and notice all that's important for you to notice when you have achieved what's important for you to achieve as the higher version of yourself. Where are you? What are all the things that are important for you to see around you? I want you to just explore. What are the things that you've achieved in different areas of your life? What kind of home do you live in? Where do you work? What kind of work are you doing? Who are the people in your life? Where do you socialize? What are you doing to give back? Just really allow yourself to really get clear. Because in life, you don't do something once. We're allowing you to fulfill your purpose this time. So the second time becomes easier. So really get clear how you fulfilling your purpose looks like. When you've seen all that's important for you to notice, what are you saying to yourself when you've achieved this? What are other people saying to you? What are all the feelings that you are feeling when you've achieved this? Why was it important for you to achieve this? How does achieving this that you've achieved when you show up as the high version of yourself benefit you? How does it benefit your loved ones? See what you see, hear what you hear, and feel what it feels like to achieve what you desire in life. Who are you when you've achieved this? What are all the different roles you play in your life? What do you hold to be important when you are showing up as the higher version of yourself? Notice the date, maybe the year and month. How much money is this put in your bank account? Take a moment right now to notice that feeling in your body. You could give that feeling that you are feeling when you've achieved your desired outcomes, where you fulfilled your purpose. That feeling that you are feeling, if you could give all those feelings a color, what color would that feeling be? If you could give that feeling a shape, what shape would you give this feeling? If you could give this feeling a texture, what texture would you give it? So you've got the color of the feeling, the shape of the feeling, the texture of the feeling. Is it rough or smooth? That feeling, is it hot or cold? And you've got the color, the shape, the texture, and the temperature of this feeling. I want you to just allow yourself to float a little bit further into the future, to notice how achieving this goal affects your life. Maybe a week into the future. Once you're done, just allow yourself to turn and face the past. And just slowly start making your way all the way into the past, passing that event when you've achieved your desired outcomes, and allowing yourself to just make the journey back to where you are sitting today. And just notice all the important milestones that are important for you to notice. Notice the evidence of what the higher version of yourself has allowed you to do to achieve this goal of yours. When you get to where you are sitting right now, allow yourself to come back to class, to where you are sitting. Allow yourself to be fully present. Maybe taking all the focus down to the soles of your feet. Allowing yourself to be fully grounded, feeling the energy moving from the soil, moving from the ground, just feeling that energy rushing up your feet, up your legs, behind your knees, just feeling more alert, more awake. And bring with us all that's important for you to remember to be able to achieve this again. Feel that energy to move up your legs, up your spine, across your shoulders, across your chest, all the way down your arms, behind your elbows, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Feel that energy make you more alert, more awake. Feel that energy moving up your neck, across your face, all the way to the top of your head. Just feeling that energy bursting out and connecting you to the light of your source, to the light from your higher power. And allow this light to be a reminder of who you are. As you start making your way towards where you are meant to be. When you're ready, you can come back to class or come back to where you're sitting. And what we've just done there is simply to really just help you allow your purpose to start influencing your beliefs, your identity, your behavior, your capabilities, and how you show up as the higher version of yourself in your life. Allow me to just simply share this as we finally reach our closing. We will be having a virtual self-alignment workshop. This session really just delves a little bit deeper to help you understand why you show up the way that you show up. To help you understand what are the beliefs of excellence that people who show up as the higher version of themselves hold to be true in their lives. But also we share what are the principles people who live according to the higher version of themselves use in their lives. It's a 2-day workshop. So we go from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. for 2 days. Really quite a lot that you cover in there. And you also get to experience a process in there to help you connect even deeper with the higher version of yourself. Dirt cheap. Really, we really want to give you an experience of this. And this would also be a part of the journey for those of you who want to become life coaches. We also do have, starting on that same weekend, a life coaching and NLP practitioner certification course for those of you who are really interested. This course, we allow you to experience the tools that we share. Not only do you learn the tools to become a coach, you also get to experience it. So I'll ask for a volunteer. I coach them on a real life issue while you're all watching. So part of the self-mastery, you get to experience a process while you are there, and you can then make a decision whether you will be continuing with this. You'll notice this attendance is once a month. So it's a Saturday once a month plus 2 or 3 days. So this will be a Saturday and Sunday. And then once a month after that will be a Saturday plus a Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday in the evenings going forward from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. So if you are employed, it does accommodate. And yeah, I'm looking forward to really meeting you at the top. Thank you so much. Those of you who'd love to really connect with me outside of this platform, please save the numbers on there. Those of you who love to read my story, if you go into the ANLP website and look for issue number 59 of the Rapport magazine, you can get a little bit of my story, my journey, when I won an international award there. And I really look forward to engaging with you further. We will be having some of these things, different topics on a monthly basis, just to really sensitize you and equip you with things to really help you. If there's anyone who'd love to give some feedback as we are landing the plane, I know we were supposed to finish at 12:30. There's anyone who'd love to land the plane for us, and I'm getting some feedback in there. Thank you. Anyone would love to land the plane for us? On my side, it is a big thank you, and I really look forward to meeting you at the top. Beautiful. Right. Yeah, I've got a hand there. I'll take it. Those of you who can still stay, that's fine. If you can't, it's okay.
Right, so I'm the one now giving the feedback, not Titus. It has been great going through this session, and I was sitting here with Titus, and I'm actually impressed, or I'm actually happy with seeing him express himself the way he was expressing himself, because he's been with me for a couple of days and he's really been struggling with a few things, and I was actually happy to see how he was expressing himself, to hear how he was expressing himself. And these are some of the things that reminded me why I got into doing this course in the first place. When I started doing my first experience with NLP, I was, in a way, I can say I was just clueless, and I actually went to Google Photos to see my experiences, to capture how many times have I attended. I remember there was the self-mastery course that I attended in 2021, September 2021. When I attended that session, which is the session that made me decide to do the full course in 2022. When I remember that session at 2021, I was a bit, okay, I was getting into it, but I was a bit clueless, and seeing myself where I am today, I can see the work that I did then since 2021 until today, it has been continued. It never stopped. Whatever that I've learned then, it's still ongoing. It's still ongoing. And I am actually happy that Titus decided to join in with me today, because I know, as much as it was a very short session, but something happened to him, and I am actually proud of him that he joined in today. And thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Coach, for this, yeah.
Thank you so much, my coach. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really, I think, in terms of this, important for us to really share, as you are sharing now, I'm reminded why I started this, I think after having studied psychology and realizing how difficult it is to really get access to something of this nature for our own, especially with the beliefs that we hold about therapy, etc., etc., etc. I started this to really make it accessible. And only you can make it accessible to people who would not ordinarily find themselves coming to places of this nature. So thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Well done to Titus.
Thank
Because
you.
the opportunity can present itself, but you choose to show up, and I'm really grateful that you chose to show up.
All right, I'm also grateful for you, Coach. I truly, I something in my mind, my mindset, something opened up, and that's what it takes. As I heard the quote, the other brother, or was it you, who says, one step is having moved. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much. You'll be hearing or seeing me, I'm sure, in the very near future. So yeah, thank you.
Code songs. I will unmute you there, and let me just remove this pen. Great stuff. Yes, my coach.
Coach, my coach.
My coach. Yeah, he's with
Coach, my coach. So
yes.
Great to see everyone here. Great to see my classmate Azugile and Coach Lunga. It's good to see the guys in class again. I saw Coach C also. But this was great, Coach Thabiso. Thank you so much for this, because I think everyone's got that limiting belief that we are holding somehow. And for you to just to do this is empowering people at the highest level. And one thing I like about NLP is the fact that it covers from different aspects of life. Somebody maybe is a teacher at school, somebody's in class, somebody's gonna do, maybe Zukile is gonna do some cycling. That empowers you. Who do you show up as? It's so, so powerful. And thank you so much to actually talk about these things, because they are somewhere in our subconscious, but we're not aware of them until you bring them up. You're like, oh crap, I show up with this when I'm doing this. So it's really empowering. I encourage people to sign up for more classes with NLP, with Coach Thabiso. It's amazing what it does to your life. I mean, I did the course when I did my first practitioner. I was showing up as the lower version of myself the first time. I had to do it again, and I actually received more when I showed up as a better version of myself, because I was doing it for the second time. So it really empowers. It is beautiful. Well done, Coach. Now, I did not know I was showing up as a lower version of myself when I was doing that. But with these identities of the qualities, the behavior, and the feelings, now I can identify it when it happens next time and be able to catch it beforehand and be like, who are you? Who are you? Then I'll be able to come back to a better version of myself. But thanks so much, guys. It was empowering.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your high level of feedback, my coach. And looking forward to meeting you and connecting with you on the golf course. So we can kick those lower versions of ourselves away and really just start playing as the higher version of ourselves. Thank you, my coach. Coach Anastasia. Should I unmute you there? I've unmuted you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Thank
Yes.
you. Good evening, everyone. Wow, Coach T, you know,
Network is not networking at all. Oh, network is not networking. All right, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. No, Kanya. I can try and unmute.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Good evening, Coach Thabiso. No, thank you. This is my first time actually attending this session. Thanks to Coach Zo, who has invited me to attend. More than anything for me, yeah, I've realized a lot, especially about myself and ways to move forward from situations that I've been faced with work and personally. And I think I want to engage further moving forward. But no, you've enlightened me more than anything. And I'm grateful for that. No, thank you for that.
Beautiful. Thank you. It's good to get feedback, you know, from somebody who has not been on this journey, because it might just give the impression that it only benefits people who've been on this journey or people who are coaches. So really, it's good to really get that feedback and just for you to really just get that awareness. You know, I think awareness precedes change. And I'm glad that you also have ways to move forward already. You know, I always say this, so many of us get caught up or get stuck because we're trying to know the how. How doesn't matter. Know what it is that you want to achieve, know what your purpose is. The how will come along the way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. Looking forward to connecting further. Coach Zukile. Coach, my coach. I can unmute you. Yes.
Awe ma second. Awe ma second. Excellent. Shabuko Jani Baba. I'm sure your Zulu is perfect now, you know. Yes, bro.
Hey, Vetu.
Yeah.
Ke slightly like home Sizulu sa.
Aye, Baba. The ones that are still left, you need to perfect your English. Otherwise, you won't get a discount for the ones that are still left. Akin Zulu, sorry.
No,
Man,
no.
here is an interesting point. I'm not sure if I mentioned it when I was talking so loudly in that 1 minute. To me, when you talked lower version of self, higher version of self, you know, of utmost importance in my case, I see myself, you know, what I use when I connect to my higher version. I have found that it becomes much easier for me to think higher power, because when I subject myself to the will of my higher power, what would my higher power need me to do? You know, how would my higher like me to think? How would when I prioritize the will of my higher power, I deliberately say higher power because I don't want to seem like I'm religious and all that. But I have found out in my case, when I put higher power here, when I think and do things going forward, it allows me, it requires of me to be humble. And that higher power that I put here sheds light, becomes my light going forward. It allows me to dissociate myself from the process and put myself aside in conjunction with my higher power in terms of how things are supposed to go forward. Because I found out that in my case, when I think solo in that autopilot, there are several decisions that I've taken in the past that have been counterproductive, that have been self-sabotaging, you know. And I thought I was taking them consciously and all that. So I found out when I think at my own level, without making a space for a higher power to go with me, that it's not easy for me to take the right decision. And finally, before I take forever, Wankiti. In my case, it has become extremely important, almost like taking oxygen, for me to be self-aware of my limitations. Very, very important to be very aware of my limitations. And secondly, to continuously use practices of mindfulness. Because as I have said, this guy easily goes on autopilot. And for me to be able to stick closer as constantly as I can to my higher version, mindfulness has to come in as frequently as possible. And how do I do it finally? I schedule throughout my day certain breaks, you know, where I say I'll work for the next 2 hours or 3 hours. I put an alarm, a specific moment, 11 o'clock. I'll take my 5 minutes, my 10 minutes, and then I root myself, or I reset myself back to my higher version, and I'll be able to stay in course with what I have to do. Thank you, my coach. I can't wait for the 27th and the 28th.
Thank you so much, my coach. Thank you so much. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Thank you. Ke thaba lo eda. Ba re ke kgomo ya moshate wa e gapa molato wa e tlogela molato. So moving along, so we don't keep, I know some of you are still also enjoying the feedback. I don't want to keep you later than 9 o'clock as we take feedback from, we'll take the last person. Coach Adolfina.
Good evening, Coach Taviso and everyone in this room. This is Coach Ado. I did NLP, and today this class, I've realized when you have done this, you attended these classes, you still need more. Because not today when I see this invite, actually I was looking it for my crush. I didn't have a ways to get him to this platform, but I thought I wanted to bring him, but it helped me a lot because I now I know how to separate my lower versions and my higher versions. And after attending the NLP, on my way to my higher version, I'm out of that lower version. I'm still on the way. On my way to my higher version, like, because being confident, how you are into your lower version, going to your higher, the confidence le rise. Hey, raiser ne, a sign ya arrogance, but to these days, what the bona, these days, or arrogance, these days, the low and everything. When I about to worry, it's I'm still on this journey from my lower version. And then look at the qualities, the changes, and now I'm that confident person, accidentally that low self-esteem. I had a feeling, I had that thing, rejection in me. That was me then. But now I am overcoming, I've overcome that. So like ke naganela batho instead ya gore nna ke tswe ke be that higher me, ke busy ke naganela batho gore bona bo feel jwang. Ke lebala gore nna ke nyaka go ba ko ke nyaka go ba gona. So I thank my crush, yena didn't make it. I hope Coach Taviso will get strategies to get him to these things. I'll find my ways to invite him to this kind of meetings. But yeah, thank you, Coach T and Coach Mrs. My Lula in the background for this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Ado. Thank you so much for your highly valued feedback. We'll share the recording. You can share it with we'll say your other half, or your crush for the time being. And really, I think if you can attend the 27th, 28th, that would really be beneficial. See if you can. And then let's see. It will be really fun day. Lots of insight, not as short. You really learn a lot. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. Thank you for really trusting me to come and give you value in the session. I am so grateful. And thank you really for your support. Thank you for your participation. I look forward to really growing with you together. These platforms are really to help you grow and for us to really create a world where people are able to show up as a higher version of themselves, or people are able to interact as a healed version of themselves. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening. Have a blessed rest of the month. And let's engage a little bit later in this month. Love you all. And thank you for your feedback. Thank you for all your feedback in the chats. I actually will save all of these and see if we can even share them somewhere. So thank you so much.